Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. And the fan forum is finished, and we're just going to go through the main talking points and get the fan reaction, because at the end of the day, it's about you guys. This isn't about what the Glazers have said or Joel Glazer. Isn't what Manchester United is saying. This is about what you guys at home think. It's what you, the fans, think on what we're hearing. Let's get straight into it. But before we do that, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube at Let's Talk Premier League and get involved, because we're building a really nice community that I'm really happy about. There, everyone talks to each other. Everyone's got that place that they can come to. It's really nice. So let's talk about what's gone on. So Joel Glazer in the meeting discussed his visions for the club. In the opening remarks to fans representatives, along with his intentions for investment in Old Trafford and the training ground. Our goal is to win every competition we compete in, and we will continue to invest in our academy and in the transfer market to support the manager in the efforts to meet the club's goals. As a club, we have devoted a lot of time and resources over the last several years updating and further developing our vast global scouting network to adapt to the modern football environment. This is a project that should provide a foundation of long-term success for years to come. In addition, as you all know, we have also been focused on growing and developing our women's team in line with the traditions and values of the club, and we are committed to doing that process. Interesting he says that, considering that the women's manager quit her job because of how poorly the women were treated at Old Trafford or at whatever training facility. I mean, not even working toilets. Like, and he mentions that. I mean, a lot of talk, isn't there? Old Trafford is at the heart of Manchester United, and while we have spent over 100 million in the last 10 years on infrastructure, we will now accelerate the process of planning much more significant investment and upgrades to the stadium. Rest assured, we will consult with supporters throughout the process and end up with a result we can all be proud of. The same goes for our training ground. Preliminary planning work is already underway, and there will be significant funding available to further enhance our facilities and ensure they would remain world class. Proposals to strengthen fan representation and the role of fans at the heart of the club were outlined with a view to further refinement with Manchester United Supporter Trust and the Fans Forum. These include creation of the Fans Advisory Board to consult with the club senior leadership and donors, in addition to the strengthened Fans Forum. The board will be made up of representatives from the forum and key fan groups to ensure the fans' perspective is embedded within the club's decision-making process. The club has initiated a direct dialogue with the Man United Supporters Trust with the aim of identifying a mutually beneficial fan share scheme involving a new class of shares, which will each carry the same voting rights as the shares owned by the Glazer family. This would establish a foundation for supporters to build a meaningful ownership stake and create a new spirit of partnership with the club. Joel also addressed the topic of the club's self-sustaining model. We want this club to be successful and win trophies. To compete for trophies requires significant investment. The commercial growth at the club has helped deliver the revenue, which ultimately underpins the investment in a sustainable manner. That approach has allowed us to have among the highest net transfer spend in world football over the last 5 years, and have one of the highest wage bills. Also, as a direct result of our commercial business, we have kept ticket prices affordable for all fans and not raised season ticket prices in over 10 years. This is an area that we as a club are very proud of. Following the meeting, Joel Glazer said, "I was pleased to join the Fans Forum to listen to the views and supporters, address their questions and share ideas on how we can improve the way we work together. As owners, we want exactly the same thing as fans, a successful team and a strong club, and we want to work with partnership to achieve those objectives. Fans are the lifeblood of Manchester United, and I'm personally committed to ensuring that they are given an enhanced voice through the creation of the Fan Advisory Board and a fan share scheme." The club has been in discussions with Manchester United Supporter Trust regarding the fan share scheme for a number of months and has already sought external legal advice on options. Discussions will now intensify with the aim of agreeing a plan before the start of the new season. So they're really, it's an interesting one. Do you believe what he is saying? That's the question that I want to ask you, lot. Do you believe a word that Joel Glazer has said? Because you can talk the talk, can you walk the walk? That is the question. Dylan saying Giroud signed new contract. That was literally done the minute that we won, that we finished, which was quite funny actually. It was quite funny. I'm just seeing if there's anything that I have missed. Don't think so. I don't think there's anything I've missed. I mean, what do you make of the new share scheme? That's also another thing. What do you make of the new share scheme? Because that could be something of interest. The link is in the chat for United fans if you want to come on and have your say. Giroud saying, thank you, Arsenal. Joel Glazers belongs in New York, Wall Street, not European football. Glazers out. Joel Glazer doesn't talk about football. He talks about the financials only. Shake my head. Antonio Conte not going to Spurs. Is that confirmed? Is it? Is that confirmed? I don't know. Is that confirmed? I mean, if that's confirmed, let me know. Send me a DM of that. Warren saying Glazers out, Glazers in, Glazers out. There's a lot of Glazer movement. But look, United have every right to be upset, but there's no coincidence that this fans forum was on the same minute or the same day as the Jadon Sancho transfers intensified. There's absolutely no doubt about that in my eyes. In my eyes, the Glazers have done this amazing. They've done a brilliant job if you think about it. On the day where he's going to get grilled for the fans, he's decided, I'm going to put the Sancho news out. We'll go get Sancho. He's done it brilliantly. He's done it where he's going to get grilled, and now they need some. They're just sprinkling the nice shit. They're sprinkling the shit that helps intensify this, helps calm the mood down, because no one's talking about the fans forum now. What they're talking about is Jadon Sancho to United. Now, obviously, we discussed that on Transfer Talk, the show being Transfer Talk. But why do that if you're just going to do the same shit at United? Now, if they get Sancho, does it mean they're acting like a big club? Potentially. But is Sancho really... Because for me, Sancho was a deal from last year. So if you think about it, that's not really a quick deal, because that deal's been in the pipeline for over a year now. He's going to have to do a hell of a lot more, to even have a chance of getting new United fans, to even think about giving him the benefit of the doubt. Because at the end of the day, yes, getting Sancho would be brilliant, but it doesn't show that United have changed in any meaningful way. What it shows is that a deal that's taken over a year to do, you've got it done. That's not acting like a big club. That's just telling me that a deal that was meant to be done last year has just got done. It's taken you a year to get Sancho done. I mean, you can say, oh, well, that's acting like a big club. No, what would be acting like a big club this summer is if, let's say, you get Sancho, then you go get Varane, then you go get like a Declan Rice or whoever, and a Trippier, and you do them all quickly, right? You get all of these done fairly quickly. Now, I'm not saying before the Euros, because it's very difficult, but you can get some of it done. You could get Varane done. Like, if you're a big club, got multiple people that will do your negotiations for you. You have multiple people that will do half the work. So you could get a couple over to Sancho, even though Sancho's done. What's then? What do you need to negotiate? How many negotiators do you need to send to Dortmund? One. Need to send one, because that Dortmund deal's done. The personal terms with Sancho done. The agent fees done. What you need to do is secure the deal with Dortmund. You don't need to send an army of agents or whoever, negotiators, to go get that done. You just have to do it. You just have to get it done, for me, because that's the way it is. You just need to send one. So what you need to do then is you go, right, well, okay, let's get Sancho done. Well, okay, we'll send half of us or half of them to Varane or to Spain, and one of them. It's a madness. It truly is a complete and utter madness. This won't be a long stream because I've got a watch along in just over an hour, so I'm not going to be on here for long. Daniel's saying he's having doubts and won't accept the offer. It's not in English, it's in Italian. Do I need Google Translate? I'll have a look at that in a second, because I'll probably need Google Translate for that. But now, at the end of the day, United fans, what do you think of this? Right? What do you think of what the Glazers have said, or what more importantly, what Joel Glazer said? Because Old Trafford is leaking. They need to fix that. You look at Old Trafford from a bird's eye view, yeah, it all looks good. But fans keep telling me there's rust on the outside of the stadium. It don't look good, blah, blah, blah. That needs fixing. For me, these owners, and it's the same with the Kroenkes, it's the same with FSG, actions speak louder than words. If you're committed to doing what you say you're going to do, then you need to do it right. But we've got Lewis in the back. Lewis, what have you made of what you've read about the fans forum?
So I've been here for all of it, but I'm always thinking. So basically, what United's task is to do is to give United fans a little bit of a say in what the club do, in a way.
So they're looking at giving them shares that will have the same voting powers as the Glazers. And they're looking at setting up an advisory fans board.
I mean, it sounds good because it can give the club an idea what the fans want, and obviously then they can take that to the Glazers and speak to the Glazers about it, and then they can kind of think of agreement on what you can get all together. So some people think no, it's not a good idea because it should be down to the owners. The fans shouldn't have a significant impact on transfers.
Well, no, the issue I've got is I think it's all just a load of bullshit.
Or fans will be going, well, you said to us that we'll be straight out the Super League and all that, and it took you a long time.
No, I just think in terms of what the Glazers will do, they'll probably do it all. Don't say that they'll care. Don't say that things will change. For me, these are all just words. Words mean absolutely nothing, especially when you're dealing with Glazers. They simply mean nothing. What they mean is, yeah, cool. Like we've done this, and we'll give you that, and we'll do that, and we'll go get Sancho, and we'll go get Varane, and then in a year's time, they might go back to the old ways of Glazers. The Glazers have got a lot to do to regain the trust within the United sections of the group, because for me they've simply just not done enough. They've not been good enough in any way, shape or form. So for me, the Glazers have got a long way to go before anyone's trusting them. Now, simply, this is a start, but I don't think this is nowhere near enough. Nowhere near.
No, because I can guarantee you it'll take you one to get the right player that the fans think you need. Two,
no, it's not about I think you're misinterpreting what they'll do. So this is not about the fans picking the players, right? That'll be done by management, and that won't be done by the things. Basically, what it means is if there's let's say the Super League, means that the fans can just block that or say we don't want that to happen.
Oh, so they get to pick like certain things. Like
no, they'll get their says. Like the Glazers get their says on their shares. That's what these shares will do. So it'll just basically be able to say we don't really like the idea of the Super League. Be up to them to do it. Mustafa saying it took them 16 years to actually care about the club. It will take them a while to be forgiven. And that I do get, Mustafa, because if they've spent 16 years of neglecting Manchester United, what can you honestly do in terms of, they have to do a hell of a lot, and it's going to take a hell of a long time for fans to be like, I'm okay with this, I'm cool with this. It takes a hell of a long time. And that I don't think is things that United have. I don't think United have that time, because whilst yes, this is a brilliant start, who actually believes the Glazers are going to do this? They've said that they've spent the most money, which is true. That is factually true. But where's that money gone? So you've consistently for years bought the wrong players. That's not the Glazers. Well, it is the Glazers. Who's in charge of that area? Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward was there since David Gill and Fergie left. He's been there almost 10 years in that role. And yet United have continuously failed to buy the right players. They have continuously failed to get some signings that they want. They have continuously failed. But at what point was Ed Woodward sacked? He wasn't. He was planned to leave at the end of this year, which is true. That wasn't because of no Super League. That was because Woodward probably decided I've had enough. So at what point do the Glazers step in? Because yes, factually, Manchester United did spend the most money. That is a factual point. You've spent a lot of money. You've spent over £1 billion. Where has that money been spent? That money has been spent on continuous players that are not good enough or don't fit the United fold. It's only since Ollie came in that there even looks like a plan on transfers. Because at the end of the day, Ollie has done a lot of work in getting this new structure in place. Now, Ollie has done a great job. And look, you can question Ollie on his tactics. He has pushed through this new thing. But the big problem is Woodward. But when will people realise that Woodward was the problem? Who kept employing him? Who kept him in this role of director of football or whatever the hell his title is? Who kept him in his role? That was the Glazers. The Glazers kept Ed Woodward in a job. It wasn't Ed Woodward keeping himself in a job. It wasn't Jose or Ollie or Van Gaal or David Moyes keeping Ed Woodward. It was the Glazer family. So yes, factually, Manchester United have spent the most money. But Manchester United have also, for 10 years, failed because of the man in charge of their football side of the business. That needs looking at. That for me is the bit that needs looking at. Yes, he's done a great job, blah, 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 whatever. He has not done a good enough job. Who will they replace him with? Is it going to be the best of the best? Is it going to be an Edwin van der Sar? I doubt it. Because Edwin van der Sar would expose the complete and utter bullshit with inside Old Trafford. It's a mate's job. I mean, Woodward was the Glazers' banker, for fuck's sake. Their banker. They gave their banker the role as director of football at Old Trafford. Or whatever his role is. A banker. That says all you need to know about Manchester United right now. They've let a banker run their club for the last 10 years. Or however many. Not been a football man. It's not been a man like Edwin van der Sar. Or someone who understands what they need to do, the players they need to get, what what it takes to be successful. They brought in someone who can make them money. Now, I'm not against the idea of bringing in someone to make them money, because that's what any normal club would do. It's the fact that they put the money maker into running the football club. That's the issue. That is the main issue at Old Trafford. Woodward was the biggest problem at the club. He is part of a problem. But who hired him? Who kept him on? The Glazers. That says all you need to know. Woodward was a small part of the problem, or a big part of the problem. But who kept employing him? It wasn't Ed Woodward. It wasn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was the Glazers. They kept him in a job. Madness. Utter madness. Mustafa, Ed Woodward quit because fans were attacking his house. I mean, I don't condone attacking anyone's house. That's not the way to go. But look, things have happened. Things have changed. Well, we'll see if things have changed for Manchester United fans. But can we honestly say they have? We'll have to wait and see. Old Trafford needs a new lick of paint for sure. They're talking about accelerated planning for Old Trafford. They need to stick to that to keep the fans on board. Because if you don't do that, the fans are just going to be like, we back down already. Very, very simple, really. But we're going to wrap it up there because in 55 minutes, I've got watch along and I'm going to go rest and play some Football Manager before I do that. Before I do that, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. It was only going to be a quick show anyway. But Lewis, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter, LewisPlayer160, and you can find me on YouTube at Post Thoughts.
Perfect. You can find our socials, Let's Talk EPL on Twitter, Let's Talk EPL _ on Instagram, Let's Talk Premier League on Twitter, TikTok, I mean. But until next time, thanks for watching. We'll be back at 6 p.m. for Spain versus Portugal, the watch along. It's going to be a great match. I'm very excited about it. And then 9 p.m. tonight, England show. And then Transfer Talk at 10 p.m. So make sure you tune in for all of them. But until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in a bit.